2020 was a rough year. The pandemic, the riots, the deaths of way too many beloved and influential figures. I could go on, but then we'd be here all day. But 2020 wasn't all bad. For me personally, 2020 was a productive year. I was able to break some personal chains holding me back, and I put my video editing skills to use by starting my YouTube channel. I made some fan music videos, a video essay, and 2 top 10 videos. Anyway, during lockdown, I discovered some overlooked animated films, old and new. So today, I will be sharing the top 10 animated gems I discovered while on lockdown. For this list, I will be sharing some overlooked animated films that I discovered in 2020. I will be basing my picks off how underrated the films are and how much I personally enjoyed them. But before I start this list, I have some honorable mentions. Willie McBean and His Magic Machine, The Mystery of the Third Planet, aka The Secret of the Third Planet, Ramayana, The Legend of Prince Rama, and The Snow Queen. Now with that out of the way, here we go. Number 10, The Daydreamer. Kicking off my list is a stop-motion film from the 1960s. The film follows a young Hans Christian Andersen searching for the Garden of Paradise. On his way, he has dreams that would become his most famous stories, such as The Little Mermaid, Thumbelina, The Ugly Duckling, The Emperor's New Clothes, Little Klaus and Big Klaus, and The Garden of Paradise. This film is an interesting experience and is pure 60s animation. Number 9, Fears of the Dark. This French film certainly lived up to its name. Fears of the Dark is an anthology black and white horror film telling 5 creepy stories, each having a different art style, director, and writer. The end result was one of, if not, the scariest animated movie ever made. If you like horror movies, especially old school horror movies, I'd recommend this one. But do not watch this film in the dark, and if possible, watch it with a friend. Trust me. Number 8, White Fang. Based off the Jack London novel of the same name, this French film follows a wolf-dog pup that gets separated from his mother and gets taken in by a Native American tribe and given the title White Fang. The rest of the film then follows his life into doghood. Although this film was 3D animated, it used 2D elements mixed in, making it a very gorgeous film. The film was also very well paced and atmospheric. And come on, you can't go wrong with White Fang himself. Number 7. Arjun, the Warrior Prince. This Indian film retells the story of the Mahabharata, following Prince Arjuna, an archer who must overcome his personal demons and defeat an entire freaking army. This film was just a treat for the eyes, with its use of colors, textures, and of course the action scenes. Plus, this film wasn't just your typical action fantasy movie, it was also equal parts drama too. Number 6. The Fool of the World and the Flying Ship. This made-for-television British stop-motion film is based off the Russian folktale of the same name, when the Tsar of Russia declares that whoever can find a ship that can sail through the air will have his daughter's hand in marriage, and a peasant sets out to find this flying ship. Soon, he not only finds the ship, but also a motley crew to go with it. Now he and his crew must complete impossible tasks the Tsar has given them. This film was a fun experience, with its atmosphere, brilliant writing, charming stop motion, and of course the characters. It also helps this film features the voice talents of David Suchet, Miriam Margolyes, Martin Jarvis, and John Woodvine. Number 5, Bird Boy, The Forgotten Children. Don't be fooled by this Spanish movie's cute artwork. This film is very dark and disturbing. For starters, it takes place on a post-apocalyptic island and deals with themes such as mental illness, drug addiction, poverty, religion, and social class. The film follows 3 teenage animals, Dinky, Sandra, and Little Fox, who come up with a plan to escape the cursed island, while an outcast named Bird Boy channels a power that could change everything. I considered this movie for my top 10 animated horror movies, but I wasn't really too sure if it counted as one. I mean, sure, there are some horror elements, but it could be argued that this film was more of a post-apocalyptic dark fantasy coming-of-age drama. Whatever the case, Bird Boy is a twisted, yet very brilliant film. Number 4, Next Gen. Based off the online Chinese comic 7723 by Wang Nima, Next Gen takes place in a world where sentient robot technology is the norm and follows a lonely, rebellious teenage girl by the name of Mei Su, who forms an unlikely bond with a top-secret weaponized robot by the name of 7723. This film is basically a futuristic take on the Iron Giant, with elements of an early DreamWorks movie mixed in. The end result was a funny, action-packed, and emotional film. This film was also very well voice acted. John Krasinski, in particular, brings out a very powerful performance as 7723. Number 3. Turok, Son of Stone. Yes, you heard that right. Turok got a film adaptation. However, this movie takes more inspiration from the comics instead of the video games. After being banished from his homeland, Turok returns to find his tribe slaughtered by the tyrant Cheechak, with the only survivors being his nephew, Andar, and his sister-in-law, Katari. The three flee and soon wind up in the Lost Lands and make their acquaintance with the Cliff People, a native tribe at war with the cannibalistic cave dwellers. This film provides a new take on those old movies that pit caveman against dinosaurs, and I love it. Not only did this movie have something new and interesting, but also paid homage to those old movies. And of course, this movie had a lot of carnage to offer. Number 2, To Your Last Death. I already talked about this film in my top 10 animated horror movies, so I'll try to keep it brief here. A girl named Miriam comes out as the sole survivor from her father's twisted game and is given the chance to relive the events in order to save her siblings with the foreknowledge about what's about to unfold. This film had complex, relatable characters, relentless pacing, carnage, high stakes, and twists at every corner, making it another fun addition to the resurgence in the horror genre. Number 1. Princess. This gritty Danish drama follows a priest named August who takes his 5-year-old niece, Mia, into custody after the death of his sister, Christina, an adult film actress known as the Princess. However, after learning that his sister's employers have abused his niece while they continue to exploit Christina's dead image, August embarks on a violent mission of revenge to remove his sister's pornographic legacy and get back at the man he deems responsible for all of this. This film made me upset, made me angry, made me feel uncomfortable, and yet it has become one of my favorite films of all time. Why? Well, because despite how dark and brutal this film is, it had legit moments of beauty and managed to tackle touchy subject matters in a well-done manner. Issues such as child abuse and how dangerous the porn industry is. This is easily the best film that I've discovered while in lockdown, and that is why it is number 1. So those are the gems that I have discovered during lockdown. Have you seen any of these films? What are your thoughts on them? Have you discovered any overlooked films in 2020? Please share with me down in the comments below. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you really enjoyed it, share, and subscribe. And here's to 2021, hopefully being a better year.